Welcome back to Cooking with Gerald. On this episode, I'll be making something very different than I've made before. I call them poor man's oxtail. You can call them faux, or you can call them substitute oxtails. Anyway, I use pork neck bones to substitute. If you don't eat pork, you can use beef neck bones. And obviously they're not going to taste exactly like oxtails because they're not oxtails, but they'll taste very oxtailish. If you use the seasonings that I'm going to be using in the video, from the actual seasoning and the marinade, it definitely will give you that flavor of oxtail. And it's very delicious. So grab a pen and paper, take some notes, and watch this episode of Cooking with Gerald. Okay guys, we're going to start with our ingredients. You're going to need a package of pork or beef neck bones. You're going to need your holy trinity, which is bell pepper, onion, and celery. I don't have celery, so I'm using celery salt. I do have red and yellow, orange bell pepper. This oxtail marinade and oxtail seasoning are what's going to make, by Ocho Rios, is going to make the neck bones taste more like oxtails. You have pepper, accent, and an all-purpose seasoning. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to cook your oxtails for about 30 minutes to get all of the impurities. So once you get this up to boiling, you want to dump it in the sink, and then you want to wash the neck bones thoroughly. Get all in the cracks of the bones because there's stuff that's stuck inside there. You want to rinse them off really good. And if there's fat on them that you don't want on there, you can cut that off too. Like I said before, those seasonings, Ocho Rios is the brand name. They have the marinade, and they also have the oxtail seasoning. This seasoning is a really good seasoning because it doesn't have a lot of salt in it. It actually has all the seasonings that you would normally put on Jamaican oxtails, like clove and all that different stuff like that. And it's very strong. If you sniff it and you start sneezing, that's the one. If you don't, then that's not going to be the one. You see how I'm cleaning in the inside of those bones with the back of a spoon or a fork, digging all that stuff out. You want to be careful to make sure you get that out. Otherwise, it's going to be something that you're going to eat. So now that I've gotten those rinsed, I'm going to go ahead and season them up real good. So first, starting off with some MSG or accent. This really adds flavor to whatever dish that you are cooking. Some black pepper. Some complete seasoning. All of these seasonings are going to be to your liking. Just depends on how much you like. The celery salt, which I'm not going to put that much of that on there. And the oxtail seasoning. And you only need probably like a couple of tablespoons because it's really strong. Then I'm going to go ahead and pour my marinade in. Throw a little water in the bottle because I don't have that much left. Shake it up. And then go ahead and pour it on the meat. Then with gloves on, I'm going to go ahead and toss the meat around to get all the seasonings and marinade on all the pieces. Come on, Gerald. As you guys can see, I'm doing a voiceover instead of talking on the video while I'm cooking. All right, so I forgot to Worcestershire sauce. A few shakes of that too. All right, so now I'm tossing it around to make sure everything gets coated with the marinade and the seasonings. You can also put this in a Ziploc bag instead of a bowl like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw some of my veggies on there. I'm going to throw half of them on there now, and then half of them when I'm cooking. Or no, I didn't. I put all of them in here now. I'm sorry. Toss those around. And then I'm going to cover those and let those sit for a couple of hours so that all the seasonings and the marinade can actually get into the meat really good. So what I'm going to do now, since I've let it sit for the 2 or 3 hours, I'm going to go ahead and burn my sugar, is what they call it. I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of oil, a non-flavor oil. This is canola oil, and a couple of tablespoons of granulated sugar. You want to watch this because you don't want it to burn. It's called burning the sugar, but you don't. And what this does is it makes the oxtail brown, is what it does, instead of using a brownie sauce. And you don't want to burn it because if you cook it too dark, it's going to taste burnt, and you have to start all over again. Otherwise, you're going to mess your whole dish up. So as you can see right there, it's turning brown. And this is a calderon pan that I bought that people that I've seen on in a lot of Jamaican videos use for their oxtail. It's a very thin, very, very thin bottom. And you got to be careful because it gets hot. The whole pan does, the handles and everything. So now that I burnt the caramel, I went ahead and threw all my meat in there. And I'm going to toss that around so that caramel or burnt sugar can get on there. All right, so now you can go ahead and add your water or your broth to it and let it come to a boil and stir everything around in there. So I did put half the veggies in there, and then I'll put the rest of them in after about an hour or so. So you will want to turn that down on low and cover it up and let it simmer for about an hour. And these are going to take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours to get done. Doing it this way, I found that it gets done a lot faster. So an hour has gone by. Going to stir it up. Make sure it's not sticking at the bottom. And that's why you constantly want to open up the top while it's cooking and stir it up to make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom. Because like I said before, if you have a calderon, if you have a heavy bottom pot, you're not going to have to do that. But with this calderon, it is very thin, like an aluminum, and it does stick at the bottom. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my veggies in, along with that marinade. After I put the veggies in, I'm going to go ahead and start putting some of the other ingredients in there. I'm using ketchup and some other ingredients. All the ingredients and recipe will be down in the comment section or down below, so you don't have to worry about not knowing what's going in and all that. So you want to go ahead and stir those up. Make sure the veggies are in there. Stir it up really good. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my tomato sauce. My ketchup. Or you can add tomato sauce. And that's about a tablespoon of ketchup. I have some thyme right there. Put a couple of sprigs of thyme in there. The whole sprig, and then I'll just fish them out afterwards. Okay, so now this has been cooking for another hour, and it's actually done. As you can see, the the liquid has cooked down and has thickened up some, and then the meat is falling off the bone. Look how tender it is. Look at it. Bone is empty. And this is it, guys. Poor man's oxtails made with neck bones instead of oxtails. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and comment below. And please subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to click that notification bell at the top right-hand corner of the screen to ensure that you do get notified each time I do upload a new video. Until next time, peace. Hey guys, please excuse my voice. I have a really bad cold, so I don't sound too good on this voiceover.